Hello everybody, it's Lyndon speaking from sunny Spain. I've made the swap from the Welsh Valleys temporarily to come and see what the sun looks like. So before I start this webinar, I'm recording it, so it'd be great if somebody out there could give me a sound check that you can hear the sound of my voice. Somebody can type that in, please. Okay, yes. Itzik from Israel can hear me. Goodness me, you can hear me in Holland, you can hear me in Sheffield, you can hear me in Russia. Fantastic, marvellous, okie dokie. Right, I'm just going to disable the chat for a while. Clear the chat, private chat. Disable that for you guys, thank you very much. And make sure the record button is on, and I can see my business partner and co-founder of Beep, Angelos, is here with us, monitoring us. It's just me speaking. It's late at night over in Cyprus, so everybody get your pens and papers ready, because although this is being recorded, there's going to be a couple of things that you might want to write down real fast as we go through that. So I hope you've had a good summer. Last time we spoke, I said I was going on a sales sabbatical, and that's exactly what we've been doing. Now the reason for this is that we've got 50,000 plus people in Beep in 192 countries, and you know what, that generates a whole lot of opinion. And it's real easy to get distracted by people who are just out there theorizing. The trouble is, Angelos and I and the whole team in Cyprus were so busy building you a working platform that we didn't have any clear evidence of the best working model. So it's difficult to pass on which was the very best way of building Beep. So we decided, as the platform was built, that I was going to go out as the mystery beeper and learn from the ground up. That's the best way, and that's really good business practice anyway. Now that in itself will bring out some challenges, because there are some incredibly nosy and quite frankly silly people out there, putting it mildly and politely. I'll give you an example. When we announced that we were going to give a percentage of profits to the charity Médecins Sans Frontières, someone contacted the charity to see if it was real, and now the deal was done in a different office from the one that took the phone call. That generated a huge amount of time wasted internally by the charity getting all the right people informed, and that made everybody very sort of frustrated at the end of that, from that nosy person just sticking his nose in. Another example was the affiliate payment program, when about 6 people actually rang the bank to check that we had a branded bank card. So when we identified in Spain the stores that I wanted to work with here in Spain, we've deliberately kept them off the Beep map for the time being until the sabbatical is complete, so that the store owners don't get spooked by the same silly kind of mentality phone calls. So now what I can tell you is the sales sabbatical is still ongoing. But what I think a few people are expecting me to say here was, yes, I have 20 stores, and yes, I've got them all past 100 beeps, and yes, I'm great, you're terrible at selling, and you need to improve. Now, that attitude will never build a good sales team. What I will say is that I have discovered with the team in Cyprus a way that we believe is the easiest and fastest way to get 20 stores into Beep. However, as you'll see in a few minutes, this discovery led to some very surprising revelations. Now, the reason I'm presenting this webinar today is to introduce to you a new strategic partner to Beep. And also because some people have misread what we said on when I said I was going on a sales sabbatical on the last webinar on the 26th of June. I said I wouldn't be back until the end of the summer. Well, it's the end of the summer. Now, what we said was that some people misinterpret the long silence as Beep is slowing down or something's wrong. And then they start looking around for reasons to back up their supposition. So we thought this would be a good opportunity as well to kill that gossip off. Now, Beep is about to launch 2 videos. Now, they're already made, but they contain commercially sensitive information. Now, the videos that you should look out for is the Beep story so far, which This contains explosive information on 3 fronts. Angelos and I, typically I'm the one that gets excited. Angelos looks at the detail and he'll bring me down to earth. But this time we had to hold each other on terra firma ourselves, because there's some things that we simply can't wait to tell you about. So what you're going to hear tonight is exciting enough, but there are things coming that, and I explain when we expect to be able to tell you. But when you see this video called The Future of Loyalty Cards, the Beep Story So Far, it won't say watch this first, but there'll be 2 videos out, but that is the one you watch first. When you watch that, there'll be a little comment in there that when you hear it, don't be drinking coffee, because it will make you splutter your coffee when you hear what we have to say on that. So the second video is called Do You Believe in Beep? Now, it's not as obvious as it sounds, that, because it sets out where any person can become involved in Beep and on what type of level of activity they can become involved. We expect those videos to be released between the 20th and the 30th of this month, that's September, unless lawyers who are drawing up contracts slow things down, which is obviously beyond our control. Now, as I said a minute ago, the sales sabbatical is started but not finished, but already we have some very surprising results. You see, Beep is a technical sale. It's not so technical that only an IT degree student can understand and sell it, but it does require a great memory, and more, it requires a huge amount of focus on which stage each store is at, and not forgetting what step is required next and how to support the store to achieve that next step. So I was in store in Spain two weeks ago, and I took a Beep salesperson with me to translate, because the store owner didn't speak any English at all, apart from to say to me, software no español. So I looked at her EPOS, which was running on a computer screen, which she could minimize easily, and then you could see it was a PC like anybody has in their home. So this was perfect for the online terminal software. All she had to do was minimize the EPOS and bring up the Beep online terminal software. Now the trouble was, this online terminal software was in English, so I told her we would get the terminal software working in Spanish. Now it's not just a simple translation job, it involves translation in the coding, so the software is written in. Anyway, this brought me a bit of time, because the customer registration forms and the plastic dispensers, which needed to be in Spanish, also hadn't not arrived at that time from the Spanish printers. So 10 days later, back into the shop I went, after the Cyprus office had translated what I provided for them, and the programmers in Cyprus had uploaded the software into Spanish. Now, the shop owner was thrilled to bits to see the terminal software in Spanish, plus she now had the plastic dispenser on a counter where customers could see the Beep customer registration leaflets, which is a natural way of starting the Beep conversation with customers. Now, it seems such a stupid thing having a plastic dispenser on the counter with the customer registration forms facing the customer, but it's incredibly important but very, very easy to forget. So the store got started, and we broke the record from 0 to 50 beeps. It became the fastest store in the world to hit 50 beeps from a standing start. However, I took a step back from the counter and I watched the shop owner and my really great Beep sales team person working away and doing a great job of registering the customers. And as we said, I got to 50 beeps really quickly, but something was beginning to concern me. You see, I took in my laptop and I had Angelos, the IT director and co-founder of Beep, on Skype available to me. Plus, I had Beep's general manager, Savas, on hand to help explain to the store owner how she could best advertise her store for Beep for free with Beep. And of course, I had myself there. And then I had got this picture in my mind of a disgruntled salesperson listening to me telling the story of breaking the 0 to 50 beeps record, and them saying something like, my goodness, or something more colourful, if I had Lyndon, Angelos and Savas in the store with me, I'd break the 0 to 50 beeps record. And I thought about that, and I thought, you're probably right. I realised that to properly support 20 stores to 100 beeps would need salespeople with incredible memories and eyes like Sherlock Holmes, because you have to watch what the store owner has not done yet or needs to know now, and to be able to teach them when customers are not around. Plus, how can you coordinate that through 20 stores all at the same time? So as we pay commission only, how could I expect the salespeople to develop this with such intensive use of their time? Now, I knew the problem, but I couldn't locate the answer until one day, a few days later, I was talking to Angelos. See, Angelos knows somebody, and this at the time was completely unrelated conversation that me and him had had. Angelos knows somebody who's developed a particular software that monitors your customers or potential customers' behavior. It does an awful lot of things, a number of automatic tasks. Now, it does a lot more than what I'm about to tell you. But one thing it does do is if you send a video to a customer, it can tell if they've watched it, whether they've watched it all the way through, and how many minutes into it they stopped watching, if they did stop watching it. So I remember Angelos talking to me in the past about the entire Beep system developing artificial intelligence. So I called him and I asked, can we develop, using the software you were talking about the other day, an artificially intelligent virtual sales assistant for Beep Pro users? And so we then had a really big conversation about that. It lasted about 2 or 3 hours, and when we'd fully discussed the subject inside and out, we said, let's do it. We're going to create this. So I'd like to introduce you to what we're developing right now. He has a name. He's called Roy, which is a throwback to the Roy of the Rovers, a UK cartoon football star and a great team player, so hence the name Roy. So how will Roy be used, and how long will it take us to develop him fully? Now, before I answer that, the development of Roy doesn't stop you digging up stores and introducing them. If you wait for Beep to finish everything that we have in development or beta testing, you'll never start anything, because Beep never really intends to stay still ever. We're developing things that are commercially sensitive now, and when we tell you about them, it will still take 6 to 12 months to get them fully functioning. And when everything that is currently in beta testing is fully functional, you can bet your life that we're going to improve something or bring something else, bring it to market. That's the industry we're in, and salespeople need to learn to go with what you've got and go with what you've got today. So what about Roy? Well, the very best mix is to combine people with artificial intelligence. So salespeople, and by the way, Roy is actually already on the way. We've started developing Roy. Okay, so salespeople will you'll still need to go and see the store owner and get their email address. You know, you can say that you've got a service that, although it's easy to understand, there's a lot to remember. So what you've got is a virtual sales assistant called Roy, and they'll make sure they have all the information they need to make a decision either way. Therefore, if you give me your email address, that will start the information flow. So Roy introduces himself. He tells the business owner that he has direct access to the MD, the IT director, general manager and the support team, plus he can remind the salesperson, you, if anything needs to be done in the store. So the first thing Roy says he would like to do is introduce you to the MD, me, who will explain why the business owners should consider the Beep loyalty service. And a video opens. Now you, the salesperson, Roy and Beep get a report when the store owner views the video, if they watch it all the way through. Then Roy waits for a few hours to see if the store owner is a self-starter and goes straight to Beep Market to order their system. If not, Roy steps in again to introduce Angelos, the IT director. And Angelos is beamed in from hyperspace to the store to explain what the 3 integration choices are and ask the store owner to make a decision at the end. Now you can see that Roy never sleeps, never forgets, and has the advantage over people in that Roy can see if the store owner has taken any action or not. See, Roy creates a conveyor belt along which the store travels, and if they fall off the conveyor belt and need human intervention, Roy shouts for help from the salesperson, and if the salesperson doesn't respond in a timely manner, Roy asks help from Beep support so stores don't go cold. Now, of course, Roy can't make a store say yes, but what he can do is follow and support everybody so that the store has the best chance of starting in the best way and guiding them to the all-important 100 beeps and beyond. Plus, Roy will have built-in audio files to play back his knowledge of frequently asked questions. Now, I'm going to be the first to admit that we've had delays in developing software for sales so you can properly go out and sell the complete Beep service. But I'll also be the first to say that Beep can be sold to stores right now. Now, the evidence is overwhelming. We see all the stores registered around the world, and only 1 in 4 is put onto the Beep map by the sales members. And the number of stores beeping properly is much lower than it should be. Hence the sales sabbatical. But Roy will plug a lot of holes in that system. Now, one thing I have done, and I will tell you more about when it's complete, is I found it personally very easy to generate interest in the Beep system. Now, that's in a country where I can't even speak the language. Now, that simple statement really got me thinking. If I find it so easy to introduce Beep stores, what about the 50,000 beepers? Something else is going on here. Then I thought of the image of square pegs and round holes. Don't know why, but that image just popped into my head halfway down a Spanish street. And I started to look at who was joining Beep and what was their common skill set. The one thing beepers are undeniably good at is recruiting other people. 0 to 50,000 in 192 countries leaves nothing to prove to anybody. Then some of you, the really early ones, will remember that when we launched Beep, we were going to tie up with a gold company called Carrot Bars. So we had a choice of converting cashbacks as they added up to around $50 to 1 gram of gold. However, some of you know that deal never materialized. The reason we at Beep pursued this was because we always knew that building the Beep income would take some time, and that the Carrot Bars binary weekly pay system would bolster the Beep affiliates income. So what I'm going to tell you in a minute is consistent with our original plans. Building Beep isn't just about making money for you, the sales guys. It's about making the money you earn build your financial future. So wise investing is always a good idea. On another point, people can easily be very critical about the type of person who is the natural recruiter of people. They get criticized for recruiting people like crazy and sitting on their backsides and doing nothing else. Well, it's easy to criticize that sort of thing. Isn't that what everybody really wants deep down? Don't we all want to have so much money we can sit and do exactly what we want? So we at Beep, we've always been careful not to overly criticize that type of behavior. Another point we like to make is that as Beep moves more and more to a professional sales environment, is there a place for passive beepers? The answer is always yes, but don't expect it to make you rich if you're just passive. So if you are a passive introducer, what can you do to help build Beep? Well, listen to this. I got a phone call from 2 guys I know from Norway. I've known these people for 12 years, and I've watched them professionally for 7 years in the Forex industry. Now, Forex and me don't get along. I know how much money is in it, and I know it's the world's biggest marketplace. It does 5 trillion a day. So why don't I get along with it? Well, what many of you don't know is that I tried to become a Forex trader in the City of London. I got onto a course. I'm a good student, but the course starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I vividly remember at 9:15 on the first day, I was looking at the clock thinking, you know what, this isn't for me. My pride kept me there to see out the first week. And on the Friday afternoon, I can remember from 4:45 to 5 o'clock, that was the longest 15 minutes of my working life. I could see all the retail investors, nearly all of them, losing their money. And I could see nearly everybody who tried to trade themselves at home fail miserably and lose everything they'd put in. Then I looked at managed accounts, which is basically people investing money with a professional broker who does supposedly know what they're doing for a success fee, which can be 10, 20 or 30%. And I've often seen 50-50 deals. But what stops the average guy on the street is the best fund managers don't look at you unless you put in a lot of money. It's just simply not worth their time. The final thing that puts me off was the number of sharks circling Forex. Hundreds of them. There are more negative stories than positive, that's absolutely for sure. So, hence my respect for these guys who for 7 years ran a great Forex company. I know a few people who regularly made thousands a month with these guys. Now I also know these guys themselves were bitten by sharks from within. They had a rogue trader working for them who blew 18 million. Now there are a few points here. One, anyone can be hit by a rogue trader. Some of the biggest institutions in the world have fallen foul of them. So my respect goes to these guys. My respect for them wasn't damaged one little bit, because I thought this can happen to anybody. The second thing is these guys didn't run for the hills. They stood firm by their clients, helping them recover as best as they could. The third point is 18 million is a point in itself. Anyone who can create 18 million knows their subject. That's a fact. The fourth thing is when a rogue trader does what they did, you can be sure the same mistake won't happen with these guys again. So when these guys called me and asked me if I present their webinars for both sales members for them and investors, I told them, I'm sorry guys, I can't, because I'm the MD and co-founder of Beep, and that would cause a conflict of interest. Now, I told them I couldn't promote anything that wasn't a Beep store or something linked to the mutual benefit of Beep. As a client, I was interested because the minimum investment was only $1,000 US. And I know their track record averages between 40 and 100% return on investment per annum. So, I mean, you know, what you put in, you can't guarantee past performance on things today. You'll hear me say this in the future. But generally, I've seen them over 7 years. If somebody puts in $1,000, it'll be worth somewhere between $1,400 and $2,000 at the end of 12 months. I've seen that again and again and again with these guys. So I looked at what they were launching as an interested client, because investing your money for leverage, well, that's always a good idea. Then it hit me. These guys are offering managed accounts not for a management percentage fee, which is the norm. They're charging just $49 US a month. And I asked if this could become a Beep company, and can you pay a cash back based on the $49? Then that would start a whole chain of benefits. Firstly, I could now actively promote a Beep company and present their webinars as a mutually beneficial Beep company. Secondly, anyone who joins this company, and it's called Pro Trade Club, gets the opportunity to join Beep automatically for free. Thirdly, Beep and Pro Trade Club have worked out an API whereby any existing Beep member is automatically detected, and anyone who joins Pro Trade Club from scratch that's not in Beep is automatically offered free Beep customer membership. Fourth, and really important, is that this is the near perfect model for Beep salespeople to make money and supporting Beep at the same time. Fifth, it's a great way for Beepers who are good at recruiting to make money and passively build from home. So starting next week and using the Beep webinar platform, I'm going to be presenting 2 webinars a week, one just for investors and the second for affiliate marketers who want to build a fast income. By the way, I've got a private reserve of training videos. I haven't used this for years, which is perfect for people building the binary side of Pro Trade Club. This training I've never used for Beep because Beep isn't a binary system. But now Beep has this strategic partnership with Pro Trade Club. I can release that training over the coming months. As it's a binary, it doesn't matter where you get in with Beep. There are going to be a lot of people automatically under you. But what you need to do is call the person that introduced you in Beep or your team leader in Beep if you want to. You don't have to, but give them a call out of respect and tell them you're getting involved with Pro Trade Club and give them 24 hours or so to get in first and then give you their referral ID. I've spoken to the guys at Pro Trade Club and they're going to give us a 2-week amnesty period if people get in the wrong places, so that we give that time to get the word out properly. So you can join here with Beep Frontline if you want to. Just type in the referrer ID. So you want to scribble down that number on the top, 85338804. If you can, here you will just get in Frontline with Beep. Just type in the referrer ID of Beep, or as I said, ring up your friend or your sponsor in Beep and give them a call and get them to move quickly so they can give you their ID. You can see here the registration is very, very simple. It's you put in the ID there, and then I just made up one this afternoon, Fred Smith, and put in the email address there, put in the address down there so far. And here you can see this is where you pay the registration fee. The joining for Pro Trade Club is $149 with the first $49 built in. By the way, if you don't have the minimum $1,000 to give to the managers to trade, you can save up your trading commissions. So really joining Pro Trade Club only costs $149 US, which in today's exchange rate, which is about 96 British pounds or 132 euros, and then 49 US dollars a month, or in GBP, British pounds, that's 32 pounds a month or 43 euros, and no management fee, which is remarkable value for money. So here on this page you can also see where you pay by credit card. Put your credit card service in there, and away you go. And you can see down there also, this is where you tick, it says become a Beepxtra member for free and receive 2.5% cash back on all your purchases. If you're already a Beep member, tick this box to enable us to register your cash back. Okay, so if you're a Beep member, tick that anyway, and if you're not a Beep member, then they have the choice of getting that cash back as well. So here you can see there's 2 automatic emails generated. One automatically comes from Beep. Let's go on to that one. That's it. That's where I want it to be. One automatically comes from Beep over there. You can see there an automatic email from Beep, and this is the automatic email that comes from Pro Trade Club. So the moment they join, I had an email account called a 10-minute email account just to do a dummy account today. And as soon as I registered with Pro Trade Club, these 2 emails were automatically generated. One from Beep and one from Pro Trade Club. Now also, there's a website with growing content just for the affiliate or partner members called myprotradeclub.com. So guys, that's it for now. Don't bombard Beep support with questions. Just look out for the webinars next week, and you're going to get Beep newslines about this. When they're going to be and what time they're going to be. The first 2 after the first 2 webinars, what we're going to do is invite people to send in questions and answers, and then I'm going to bring on the guys from Pro Trade Club to answer that and start to build up that knowledge base so you can give those Q&As to people as they join Pro Trade Club. And remember, this is just the beginning of the enhancements. I really can't wait for you to listen to the video, Do You Believe in Beep? See, a lot of people who say Beep's been quiet will eat their words when they see what we've been up to. And you're going to have a definitive answer on what you can do if you can sell and what you can do if you can't sell. And I guarantee at the end of that, everybody will be happy. The tie-up with Pro Trade Club is strategic. Well, number one, for investment for the future of us all. Secondly, to give a home to the beepers who like recruiting but don't particularly like selling. And three, for internet marketers, this is absolutely perfect. So I look forward to seeing you all on those webinars next week. Now, for those of you that might say, well, Beep is moving away from its core of being a loyalty provider, you're so far away from the truth, that's incredible. When you see what Beepxtra is about to become, you will really swallow any negative comments. So for your own credibility, I suggest you keep silent for a while and see what comes at the end of this month. Now, this is a big step forward and a great positive step, and I'm really happy that we're creating Roy, the artificial intelligence virtual sales assistant for the Beep Pro salespeople, and also that we now have a great Beep home for the passive recruiters with Pro Trade Club. Now, I know that people are naturally resistant to change, but evolving and learning is one of the best ways to move forward, which is summed up by Lao Tzu when he said, life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them. That only creates sorrow. Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they like. So beepers, you guys have a good night, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon. Thanks very much, guys. I'm going to close the webinar down, and I'll see you all next week.